Checking out Georgia's offense against Texas. Brent, I think you're going to do something specifically on defense, either in the dog vent on Twitter. It'll be somewhere this week, so people can check that out. We want to focus on Georgia's offense because even Brent, as up and down of a season as Texas has had, they have dudes on this defense that will play a lot of snaps on Sundays in the NFL. So for Georgia's offense to be this strong and efficient and explosive, I think it's worth doing a deep dive into this.
Yes, and also to create the confusion that they did, to have the explosive plays that they did, just wide open type stuff, that it's a testament to both Georgia's offense as well as Georgia's offensive coordinator.
We start with Gunner, a little keeper here.
After the weird first play of the game where it was like, oh, what happened? The snap got early. But this is what teams are doing to Georgia, like Georgia Tech and some of these other teams from a QB run standpoint, is they are formationally beating them. And like this is quads to the field with the two receivers on the line of scrimmage. They've got two guys over there that can make this play. And then Monroe Freeling does a heck of a job of getting one hand on the third guy that can potentially, have made the play. But this is just great execution. Gunner does a great job of riding the fake. Obviously, Bowens, I think, that takes the hit, even though he doesn't have the ball. But this is a great play call after a weird first play of the game. Check the tight though. Let's look at Freeling, and because he's chipping up, and then gets the one hand on 26, who has that little bit of hesitation. But that's a phenomenal job from Delp to see what's going on and think on his feet and get going forward. Like, okay, that guy 4 has no idea. 4 didn't think Gunner had the ball.
I was going to ask you about Delp's assignment here because at this point, is he looking to 4 or is he looking to see is Gunner running behind him for a reason?
No, he's that guy's out of the play. He's got to block him potentially, but he's out of the play. Now let me just go move forward. Yeah. And that's why you get a explosive, double-digit yard run, because he can go ahead and that guy takes himself out of the play.
And we said it on the Film Don't Lie all year. This is something Georgia could not do for the past 2 seasons. Not a shot, just a reality.
Yeah, it makes your offense that much better. This was bad luck more than anything. So this is 2nd and 10 where he has to kind of throw the ball early because of pressure. And obviously, and Thomas is what's interesting here is I don't know that he would ever even see Thomas or by the time he looked, because he never looks at him in any way because it's a clear out route. But Thomas cooks the guy at the top of the screen so bad that it's an instantaneous touchdown if he does see him. But the part of the play that's bad luck is the time element, because look why it is that there's pressure. It's twofold. So it's probably better to see from this. So watch Ernest Green at right tackle. He's working down, and Delp is as well. And so he's there, and Delp's shoving 93 because Delp is actually getting out in the pattern. I think if there's no pressure, Delp ends up being the guy that gets the ball because he's wide open. Like he's late getting out on the leak. He's going out into the pattern. But it's just bad luck because of the way that works into. But also watch Green. I think this is one of those things where it's so hard to officiate offensive and defensive line because right about pause. Look at 93 right there, right up the hash with Gunner. I am almost certain he grabs Ernest Green here and yanks him to sort of out of the way because right there, and then all of a sudden you see him go forward really quick. My guess is, in the sort of mesh there and the mess that's in there, that's a grab and a yank and get some pressure.
Yeah, and it's hard to see in there, so you can get away with some of those things.
But still, you had one open touchdown. Delp was going to be wide open, all that. This, to me, underrated play of the game. Because obviously Texas goes down the field and scores, gets a field goal. But like 3rd and 10, and you complete a one hash to the other sideline out route, like that's NFL level throwing in a way. So I guess it's my dogs that are going to be the issue. My dog's going to be the issue today, not the ones that are at your house.
Yeah.
I hear Gracie hears the neighbor barking, but
Gracie's impressed with the throw too. That's what it is.
She's very impressed with the throw because that's an insanely great throw. And I wonder if you're Texas, do you look at this and you're like, okay, why are we, if we're bringing what we're bringing pressure wise, why are we giving so much space and cushion defensively? But go back to the other angle really quick. When we talk about there's just guys open all game, London Humphreys is wide the freak open in the middle.
Yep.
Nobody, they get crossed up. It's a great design both ways, but great protection. They pick up the protection. You see them sort of fan point, all that sort of stuff. Everybody knows where they're going, and everybody's accounted for. Glover and Bobo handle the twist. Like this offensive line play is elite right now. That's for sure. But this was an underrated play of the game. 3rd and 10. Instead of settling for field goal, you're now going to go get a touchdown.
The confidence of Gunnar Stockton is what is remarkable to me, Brent, because if this play is called, I don't know that they would call this in the first month of the season based on protection. But we had talked about he has clean pockets. Like there's no reason to escape this. And I know this is a quick, get on your back foot, throw this ball. But how often early middle of the year would we have thought maybe Gunnar tries to leak out of this lane and get 2 yards?
Yeah. No, he's the confidence that he's playing with right now. It's exponentially increase each and every game.
2nd down here in the red zone.
How do you lose the 6'6" guy that's standing up? Like I think the corner legitimately just lost him when the motion happened late. But I love that they've done a lot more of this bootleg under center game, because to me that's just it's so difficult to defend. And Delp does a good job of at least contacting that guy to give him space, and this is just a great throw to go put it high. Like look at when he catches this ball, look how much in the air he is to catch this ball. Like there's no shot for the defense here.
His emergence has been strong. We were talking before we started that when Colby Young goes out, who gets all the accolades from Kirby Smart about being a team leader and having such great offseason from what he had going on last year, it requires probably a jolt of energy from whoever comes behind him to pick that up. And Noah Thomas has done that.
Well, that's what's the talent, and the we're going to show more plays from him, but the talent is beyond there. All right, so this play absolutely just melts my heart. So there's so much greatness to this play. And remember how earlier in the season I was talking about they're running old school I formation concepts out of modern formations and looks? This is power. This is old school ISO fullback lead power, just out of the shotgun with an H motioning. Go to the tight, because look at this. So just imagine, all right, so just imagine if Gunnar is under center, Bowen's in the I, Delp is the fullback. So that's a fullback kick out, guard lead, downhill run, and down blocks everywhere else. That's freaking beautiful. Like, give me this all day. Power.
Well, the main difference to me, though, Brent, is the threat of that quarterback, because look at one here. Because there are versions of I formation where one could just straight up follow the back, scrub to the inside. Oh, yeah. Look how far behind he is.
Yeah, he's got a like that's what I'm saying. You're blending old school concepts with new school formations and new school ways to sort of modern ways to hold defensive ends and things like that. But look at all this head and butt to the right, to the correct side. Elias Williams, boom. That's freaking awesome. Like, chip down. All right, work back up, get to the correct shoulder. That's just beautiful football. Did you think Zachariah Branch was going to lose yards on this when he made this move?
I mean, half the time I think he's going to lose yards. Like I did want, like, why is he running backwards? But at some point you have to gain the trust that this guy's a jitterbug and he'll make.
Well, that was one of those things where like this happens and you're like, what are you doing? And then you're like, oh, he might score. like just that quick and that sudden. But also I think our own Harrison Reno put some of this stuff on Twitter. But early in the season, does Gunner reset and see this in the middle of the field, or does he just pull the ball and run? I think he pulls the ball and runs early in the year. But reset, see the middle of the field because it's wide open. Heck of a job by him. You're trying to hit the double move. They cover it.
How about that route by Branch, though? Like, to me, this is NFL quality where he's fast enough that 4 has to think, I can't let him get over the top of me, so let me turn my hips this way. And Branch with the head fake, and he turns the head right as he's planting, the foot in the ground, boom.
He's going to be picked like 35th to 40 and have a lad level impact in the NFL.
He'll be a team's number 2 receiver almost immediately.
I think so. And what is it with Gracie? I'm going to kick her hind end. Drive me nuts today. This is setting up later. Like this to me is what Bobo is doing right now. Like, you don't really get much here. You kind of get a yard or 2, but you've got your 2 tight ends working outside. Like, this is, QB. They've run this as a QB run, some keep. So you're sort of getting to it. And then later it's the layer that ends up being a touchdown. Like, they just don't have a guy for that guy when they play like that. Like, Hill's actually really good.
Yeah.
We're going to show the interception was insane, I thought. But anyway.
We saw a lot of innovation down in the red zone, to me, and some risk taking that I think is exciting for Georgia fans with offense. And I think we're going to show some of it with Elias Williams becoming your left tackle. Yeah.
This is like the work from Noah Thomas here. This dude is 6'6", and that's the 80 Mitchell route, against Auburn that one year, and same number. But that's a great route, and then also a phenomenal throw. Like, it doesn't get much better in terms of ball placement. And the thing remember how, like, I've always talked about, like, Gunner is more like a pitcher where he follows through and all that sort of stuff. That's a shortstop. That's turning 2 right there. And he's just ripping it without really massively following through and bringing that back leg through. He's just kind of there and lets it hang. Like, again, that's stuff that you haven't seen from him, or you're gradually starting to see more and more. Great protection. But yeah, that's when you can go to this guy, like in these type of situations, and get that win instantaneously like that, you're going to be hard to stop in that area.
Clutch thing here. Check out the engagement from Green and Gaston here to make sure an arm can't get in the throwing lane. No, sir. No, sir. Work high. Not going to hold. Boom. And I think it would have been wide enough. It probably wouldn't have mattered anyway. But, like, there's just really refined execution here from things that can stop successful plays from happening.
Yep.
This is play 53.
Yeah, so this is one where I've seen some that, all right, I thought in the game, I was like, is this potentially an RPO? But then I resaw it and was like, oh, he's just giving this. There's no read because, sort of next level moving forward, we've seen some of this where they slip the tight end out and throw it to him kind of thing. With the way you motion Branch here, like, I'd love to see it where if the backside is protected, you could read the front side and pull that where 29 comes and plays the run, because nobody is with Zachariah Branch. Like, go back to the other view. Like, when 29 comes up, boom, Branch is just hanging out all by his lonesome.
The route concept, though, Brent, I think is something that we'll see again, which is fake crossing through the backfield, stop, go.
Yep. And like, go to the other view in terms of could have actually been a much more positive play, but it's hard. This is hard on the back because you're following your blocks, and then that extra hang defender is there that you don't necessarily account for, as opposed to just sometimes this hits right where the center is. Like, back it up a little bit. Sometimes, because if you see the second level flow, potentially, boom, straight up the gut right there, right between Gaston and Micah Morris. Sometimes it just hits that way. But it's hard to see. You're following your blocks. You're doing a good job, because like later I'm going to tell, hey, Chauncey, follow your block on a swing play kind of thing. But still, it's more about, okay, maybe some cool stuff later from that.
All right, first down play from own 15-yard line.
So we had the sort of lull, and I think a lot of it was field position. Kirby was like, "Hey, look, let's be smart with this when you have bad field position and we're kind of dominating the game." And we had talked about some of these blocking type schemes they're doing where these are NFL level blocking schemes that they've really never done before, and you can tell where you've got to sort of look at almost fold blocks everywhere. Every other person, the 3 guys are going to the right, 3 guys are going to the left. This could have been a huge play. I don't know why Delp didn't insert into straight ahead for 26. I mean, I think a lot of it's probably prep work during the week. Hey, defensively, you're going to end up getting the tackle here, is what I'm assuming he's thinking, and then the guy works to the other way. But if Delp happens to fold up on the backer there, that could be a big play. But
yeah,
it's little things like that where you're trying stuff. You're at least trying stuff.
4 was coming downhill, so I don't know. Maybe big play. I think Nate would have had to do something very nifty here, but you at least have open lane there. And maybe you're saying he kicks it out the other way. Like he has some choices there.
Well, and you don't put yourself in a 3rd and long.
Yeah. Which Georgia did a really good job of for most of this game.
So now you're in a 3rd and 6 plus here. And this is one where, okay, this is the next step, I think, and the next level for Gunner is trusting. I mean, he has, and he's done in certain instances where he knows he has to make the throw, but just trusting the pocket because he kind of bails from this one early when I think he's able to watch Branch. Go back to the wider view. Like when in doubt on 3rd down, throw the Branch, boom, right there. Like look at the DB. The DB's on his outside foot. Like throw it to him, hit him now, cuts up field, 1st down, big play, whatever. But it's just a matter of trusting the pocket, I think.
All right, 1st down on 15-yard line again.
Does Gunner Stockton make this throw game 2?
I don't think so. No,
because I think there's no way on planet Earth he makes this throw with this sort of touch and throw it to the sort of back shoulder in a way.
Also, game 2, I'm not sure offensive line protects as it needs to for him to
on play action, especially. Yes, Great point. But yeah, like that's just when you can do this and hit these layered touch throws like this. Again, you're opening up things for your offense and your coordinator that are very, very good and make you very dangerous.
Oscar Delp making himself some NFL money the last couple of weeks. I mean, probably same for Lawson Lucky too. That like those are just guys you want on your team.
So the interesting thing about him is with all of them, it's going to be how they run. Like the tight end position in the NFL has become so much of, hey, you're going to get drafted based on your explosiveness higher. That doesn't mean he's not going to be picked in like the 4th round and be, a potential starter level tight end or, late 3rd or something like that. But in terms of your success, it's being shown over and over and over again that guys who are elite athletes, from a speeds and explosiveness standpoint, are the guys that are having success. Like somebody like Tucker Kraft that got hurt for the Packers. Like that guy was a big, tested insane off the charts and was having a big time year for them.
Well, and there's not a doubt that Elias Williams is probably on a higher NFL trajectory than Oscar Delp, and there's nothing Oscar Delp can do about that. That's a God-given situation.
Yes, exactly. There you go. This is just a bad read. Yeah. But hey, you're running power read again. Like this excites me, and this is one where my guess is when he runs this in practice, when he or they've run it in the game. It's been a pull read so consistently, and instead of trusting it and just giving this ball right here, he keeps it because that's an easy give read. Like squeeze down, give, and now you got Branch out there in space with basically hat on hat. I think he gets the 1st down there, and he gets the 1st down there. You're getting at least 3 more points before the half.
2nd down midfield.
This is where I was talking about follow the block.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's one of those things where would you like for Oscar Delp right here to turn his head inside and get the sort of linebacker, make the corner tackle, that kind of thing. But it's clear that, hey, we're working to the outside shoulder here no matter what. So if your blockers are doing that, follow them. Like this is one where you got to push to this and be like, follow him, stay outside to where you maybe go out of bounds at like the 45.
Yeah.
Kind of thing.
Still positive play. I understand what you're saying. It could be more. And so take easy stuff.
And some of this stuff it's where, and we're showing this because it's like, okay, a little thing here, a little thing there, and you're just getting 7, 8, 9, 10, 15 a play and getting whatever the heck you want against this defense. So
I like the vision here. And I mean, toe tapper.
Yes, it's great work, but you just had a big touchdown play a week ago where you found Thomas on the middle of this, and he's just kind of hanging out there in the middle by his lonesome 6'6" guy.
You know what I thought though, because I've heard Coach Donnan say this: you just coach him. Don't throw across your body to the middle of the field.
Yes,
I know he's wide open, but I think this is following your training of, if I have a better option, it's safer to go to sideline.
Oh yeah, always. Like, and that's the beauty of this is we're not talking about a negative play right here.
Yeah.
Like this is a positive play, but it's also the play before the interception. So it's like, okay, we get a big play there, and then the interception might not happen.
Here it is.
And the reason I wanted to show the interception is because this isn't like terrible quarterback play. I think this is just great defense. Because if you watch Anthony Hill right here, he's right there, right in the middle of the field. Watch how all right, play action pass, find the receiver. Okay, what's the receiver doing? Now I'm going to get back into the lane where the receiver is going. Like if it comes draft time and he gets picked ahead of CJ Allen, it's for this reason right here. Like things like this in coverage that he's doing that. I mean, maybe it's the run defense versus coverage, but the NFL at a linebacker level, you got to play in coverage, and that's just great defense.
I suspect he will get picked ahead of Allen, but some of that's going to be combine measurables and not.
Oh, there's all sorts of factors to that, but yes, it's one.
I think they'll both be high picks.
Potentially, like late first round. But yeah, that's just like, because how often have we talked about from a Georgia defender standpoint of, hey, look what's going on around you. Know what's going on around you and then adjust. And this is a great, just phenomenal job of that kid of seeing what's around him. And look at the catch. Like that's the inside linebacker making that level catch.
Well, and you can imagine this week when Georgia reviews offensive tape with Gunnar Stockton, they're not going to be unhappy with the decision here. Like sometimes good just beats good.
Yes.
And that's going to happen more frequently as you play better teams getting into SEC championship playoff, wherever Georgia's destiny takes it. And you have to kind of live with that as long as you're not making bad decisions. And I don't think this is a bad decision either.
No. Interceptions happen.
If you're willing to throw the ball, then there's a chance that it's caught by someone else.
Yes. This could have been a huge play. Like I love the design, sort of reverse out, running into counter.
I want to show
this is one where, like, even after the play, I think 74, they're kind of standing around like, hey, why was that not a big play? And you've got, my guess is Bobo 74 thought that Freeling was getting to that sort of backside, but he can't with the way that guy's screaming. But to me, I don't know why he's not blocking down. 73 gets the nose, and then you get that guy. But this couldn't, like, if you get that guy blocked, this is set up to be chunk play, like right there.
Yeah, because then you end up with a one-on-one 10 yards.
Green's heading to the safety. Like,
yeah,
look at this. Because Delp gets 10, 26. Green gets this.
10.
Yep, stays ahead around, and Green.
And he'd have an angle over here.
Like, because play it forward a little bit. Ernest Green gets up, turns around, boom, right there. Like, you might get that guy blocked, and you're out the gate.
Yeah, that could be a house call. That's got to excite some Georgia fans.
I mean, I like the creativity. Like, anytime you get creativity in a running game, all right, so here's the decision. Did you like the decision?
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
I like aggression, and I was curious what analytics told Kirby, because the only thing is where the ball was on the field. But I also, for the same reason that they did the onside kick, Brent, of I'm worried about that kick returner, I think that they're saying I like our chances on 4th and 1 more than I like our chances to have our punting situation altered by that returner because it had been on game.
Right, and you could tell it was in Thorson's head, like, and that he'd been coached to sort of not kick this. But this is just a great play call, because even if the corner sits on Bowens, now granted, you wouldn't like to have the pressure in your face that you had, but Elias Williams would be open, I think, if the corner's not, if the corner goes to the back. But I love the aggressiveness, because I think this is what I wrote about after the game. The feel, like, I think Kirby felt that, hey, we're this close to just blowing this game open, but they're hanging around because we're not taking it. Let's go take it. And I think that's just a feel thing.
All right, so
shift, get the overload.
Yep. So you get the overload, and we saw this down at the red zone too. Elias, man, what a weapon that guy's becoming. Even because, like, there's some fun stuff you're able to do if you do more of this. So you get your overload. But to me, Brent, this play is made by Gunner. Look how quickly he gets the head turned around. This is so fast.
Yep.
Boom.
It's such a hard play to defend. Like, you see this in the NFL constantly. You see it all around college football and the NFL, because it's just so hard, and the back just always gets left alone. Everybody just always forgets about the fast to the flat. You see, if you follow Dan Casey on Twitter, that's there. So,
and again, past quarterbacks that Georgia has had, they're probably going to follow the back here and say, cool, maybe you'll run against our backers. We'll try. Or against our ends. Boom.
Great decision.
It was fantastic. 2 more plays here for us.
Yep. Two touchdown plays, a few touchdown plays.
Onside kick, you like the call? Do you think it happens if it's a
awesome.
game?
It's awesome. I aggressionists all day, and this was fantastic. But, like, just Ernest Green destroying the corner, like, hello, and this is close to being 1-on-1, potentially scoring. But look at London Humphreys in the tight. The only reason I think he gets pushed back into Gunner here is a little bit of hands to the face mask right there.
I think you're going to see more of this as Georgia gets in the playoff run.
Oh, when it's needed? Yeah, it's always nice to have as a go-to. But, yeah, Humphreys, he's blocking his tail off, and then the kid, like, grabs his face mask and pushes his head back. And then you set up this. This is coaching. This is coaching all day, every day. It's great execution. Because look where is Gunner running? He's actually running backwards.
Yeah.
But all those guys think he's going forward because of how he's got the ball tucked. That's coaching. Because otherwise, if you don't coach that, the quarterback comes off there and looking to throw. And you got to set up the run. So he's tucking that thing while running backwards. That's what's amazing about this.
From a psychological standpoint, this play, to me, has the same effect. Do you remember, and I don't think you can forget it, the David Green, and Aaron Murray did it too, but I always think of David Green's play fake where he's just walking in the backfield, facing the wrong direction, ball in his hip, and you turn around and you toss it over the top because everyone committed to the run. This has the same effect, that because of the body language of the quarterback, the defense has decided what's happening, and then you do the other thing.
Yep.
So there you go. There's Georgia.
And it goes from 14-10 to 28-10, game over.
Game over. Texas season over.
I think so. I don't think there's any way to get in the playoff, even though that they were 17th. I think I saw.
Nah, if they beat A&M, they'll be right there in the conversation.
Yep,
and that's obviously required.
I don't think so. I think they're done.
I think they can beat A&M. So we'll see.
I think they can beat A&M, but I still also think that I don't think they should be a playoff team.
3-loss teams getting in, and we know the Texas is a brand, so we can have that discussion later on.
Kirk was trying to lobby for it there at the end. That's for sure.
That's Georgia's offense against Texas. Thank y'all. Make sure you check out all the coverage on the dog vent, as this team is gelling at the right time for maybe SEC championship run, definitely college football playoff run, and we'll chronicle that throughout the way. We're probably not doing one of these for Charlotte, but if anything pops up, we'll throw it on the dog vent and chat about it there. For Brent Rollins, I'm Dayne Young. We'll see y'all next time.